So you all must be aware that Canada's spouse open work permit has been closed, and this has also been announced by the immigration minister. But this is not the complete information about it, but a lot of information that is still hidden regarding this announcement, which is very important for all of us to know. So in this video, I will be discussing the entire information in details, such as when it is getting implemented, who all will be affected, and what will be the future of spouses in Canada for open work. Please make sure that you watch the video till the end, and before that, in case you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, because on this channel I share all such kind of informative video from time to time. So let's talk about the spouse open work permit. I have noticed that some of the people are still getting spouse open work permit till date. So this indicates that even announcement has been done, but the files which are already there in the system, positive results are still coming for those. So before starting up with anything else, let's talk about what is this announcement all about. Canada is more influenced by the immigration system that we have in the United Kingdom, that is UK. So the UK has announced that from January 1st intake, all the dependent visa were closed. So just to follow the footsteps of UK, Canada has also made the announcement regarding the same. But I want to tell you one thing, they have not yet disclosed and finalized any date for that. But in the past, UK have already given the date as January 1 intake for them. So the announcement from Canada has only been declared but not yet been implemented, which itself is very important because there is a lot of difference between announcement and implementation. Also, one more thing, in the announcement they have just mentioned about that in the coming weeks ahead they will be taking a decision. The people who are doing masters or PhDs are the only people who are eligible for spouse open work permit. So there is no clarity they have given about the date and timeline for implementing the same. They might do it after 2 weeks, or they might even take 2 months or more for this. I'm putting a lot of stress on implementation as this is only announced but it's not implemented. So when it is implemented, then only it's get affected. So applying for an open permit for a spouse currently has two major important things. One, I call it as an emergency, and the other one, I will call it as an opportunity. So in case your spouse is in Canada and doing some study, so this is the right time to apply now, as it is an emergency, because if not now, then never. I will also consider this as an opportunity as they have not given any date for closing for spouse open work permit. So in case they come up with any deadline, you still have time till that deadline to apply for the same. Now let's talk about the students who have already applied for an open work permit and their file is still in the embassy. They need not to worry because the file will be processed as per the previous policy only. But also I see a positive and a possibility that the current files which are there in the system may get more positive results, because as this has been closing right now, and just to compensate for this, there might be more positive results for the current files in the system. Second scenario, if your spouse is going to Canada and his or her visa has been approved, even in that case, you can apply for a spouse open work permit. Please make sure that you have all the documents in place and apply now. There is another condition that in case your spouse is currently in Canada, you can still apply for the spouse open work permit. So it's both ways you can apply for a spouse open work permit. Another condition is in case you are applying for a student visa and you have still not submitted your profile, you can still apply for your spouse open work permit along with your application. One more thing that I wanted to share, so whenever they decide on a date to implement this policy, let's say that 2 weeks from now, for that, at that point of time, they will give a specific day. So till that date or till the deadline, files can still go to the embassy. So please remember, so in case your spouse is in Canada and studying, or even in case you are still putting file for study visa, you can still put the file for your spouse open work permit. Finally, I want to tell you one more thing. In case your spouse is already in Canada on a work permit, it will not get impacted at all with this announcement. Also, in case your spouse has gone to study in Canada or on a work permit, on basis of that, you can still apply for a spouse open work permit at any time. There will be no such restrictions on it. The other thing is that students who are going for masters or PhD, they also do not have any restrictions for spouse open work permit. They can anytime invite their spouse on spouse open work permit. Let me summarize. Right now, there is no deadline which they have given for closure of spouse open work permit, which might come in the near future. So till the time there is no deadline, your file can still go into the embassy and it can be processed. The files which are already there in the system, those people also need not to worry at all. Please just relax. You also have a better chance of getting your files to be approved sooner. I understand that there is no doubt they have to close open work permit for spouse and they have already announced the same, but this is still not been implemented. So till the time it is getting implemented, please get your files ready and apply as soon as possible. One more important thing that I wanted to tell you, in case your spouse is already in Canada and your spouse visa needs to be extended and they're looking for an extension. So for even in that case, this announcement will not be affecting their extension at any point. Share the video with the maximum number of people, because for spouse open work permit, this is a very big news, and also it is very important to clear the doubt regarding the spouse open work permit. Thank you for watching Pawan Speaks Canada. See you soon in my next video. Thank you and all the best.